All right, let me turn this off. Welcome everybody to another stream. I think I've decided on making streams on Mondays and having live streams on Monday nights and Thursday nights, at least for the time being. That's something I could definitely keep for next week. So we'll just try that. Don't forget there is a link in the descriptions. There are two links where you can make a small donation if you'd like through PayPal, or you could subscribe to my Patreon. So if you feel so inclined, I'm not stopping you. So we're going to go ahead and get started with something different from what I did on Monday. So Monday I did a prelude by J.S. Bach. This is Estudio number 3. Estudio just means study, so it's just a study. It's a study in, it's just very scalar in nature. And I gave this to one of my students at the end of this semester that just passed, with the hopes that he'd work on it over the winter break. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it. And so I've sort of looked over it with him, that one lesson, but I haven't looked at it since. So if it looks like I know what I'm playing, it's because I did look at it once or twice. So let's jump right in here, and I'm going to go ahead and add the fingerings as I go, I think. But also a disclaimer: I was watching the stream from last Monday, the box stream, and there were some things I mentioned there that mentioned in passing that I actually don't agree with anymore after having spent some time working on it. So as a first sit down to a given piece, I'd say take everything I say with a grain of salt, because some things might make a lot of sense on initial, when initially going over the piece, but then having a broader idea of what the piece is, things change. So just keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing I'm going to notice again is the key signature. We have 1 sharp, so either E minor or G major. We have the first 3 notes of the E minor chord. There we go, E minor, E, B, and G. Okay, so I'm obviously not going to get through the whole thing. I'm just going to spend an hour doing what I can. And I figured, you could watch the process that I go through. And you can learn it with me if you like. And next Monday, I'll be doing the box stream, having practiced it. And then the following Thursday, I'll be doing this one again, or a stream with this piece, also having practiced it, and, just kind of go from there. So you can see the whole thing take shape. Okay, so here we go. Estudio number 3 by Agustin Barrios. Let's see. So right away I'm seeing 2nd, 3rd, 4th string. So I would do A, M, I right away. I'm not even thinking about it. And I think when I was working with Jason, I decided that he should use his thumb on that E. Thumb, hammer on. This slur, and I remember now, these slurs in this piece are very important in that they need to be strong. They need to be at equal volume and clarity as the notes that you're, plucking with your fingers. So that's really important. Don't hold the note like I just did. You don't want to hear this. You want to hear each of those notes individually by themselves. Yeah, that's right. Am I? Oh, sorry. Let me put the music up so you can see it. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so now you know now you can follow along. Okay, let's try this again. A, M, I, and then, what did I say? Thumb, hammer on, I, N, lifting off your pinky so that you don't hear that, which I think I just did. Okay. Let me not get ahead of myself. Did it again. And then we have I feel comfortable using my ring finger, so I might just go thumb, ring, thumb, ring, thumb, ring, thumb, ring. And the reason I'm doing that is because I used... Wait, no. Let me backtrack. No, middle. Middle, because in the end of the first measure, hold on. Oh, let me turn off my speaker so I don't get any feedback. There we go. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so at the end of measure 1, the second string is going to be played with the middle finger, which makes sense going into measure 2 that we use our middle finger for all of those B's that are alternating between the bass and that pedal. Thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, middle. And then it looks like we just repeat that. Pretty straightforward. And then again, this time that E on measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's tight. Don't play it. Yeah. So it's all sort of making sense now. Using that thumb for the E, we have I, M at the end of measure 5. And then in measure 6, we use our ring finger for the E, the high E, first string open. So I'm going to start on measure 7, 6, 5. I keep forgetting to lift off my fourth finger. Oops. Yes. I would play all of that free strokes. There's absolutely no reason to play those rest strokes. Oh, that's tight. Ring finger for the first note in measure 6, and then from there it's just M, I, M, I, M, I. And it'll all make sense. There's no string crossings, awkward string crossings. Let's see. It's laid out perfectly. Oh, first finger for that E at the end of measure 6. That will allow us to play the F sharp with our second finger. All right, so we'll start. That's a stretch. Pinky for the F sharp, fourth finger for the F sharp, third finger for the A. From the hammer on, 1, 4, this is measure 7, 3, I'm reading the numbers for the fingers, sorry, D sharp, F sharp, A, B. So let's talk about right hand, let's see. A, M, I, that's what I would do. P, hammer on, I, M. Yeah, and then again in measure 8, that allows us to play the F sharp with an available ring finger. So, do I need to write that down? I think I'll remember that. It feels pretty natural, so I'm going to just skip the writing part of that. I'm listening for that. I'm trying to avoid the squeak. Keep the F sharp down. Keep the F sharp down for the entire measure. That's going to make it infinitely more difficult. That's difficult. With anything with a little practice is not going to be as difficult, but first playthrough that seems like it could be a problem. I, M, shift. Okay, F sharp, E, D sharp, C that's on the third string. It doesn't say it's on the third string, but the giveaway is that you're using your fourth finger. You're not going to play D sharp on measure 8 and then shift to C sharp. Oh, to C natural, I should say, with your fourth finger like that. So we're going to go A, M, I, M, ooh. A, I, M, I, M, I, M. Okay, so in this particular measure, there's no avoiding an awkward string crossing. I tried to fix it by starting with my index finger after the F sharp. So in other words, again, measure 8. A, I, M, I, which makes sense. I'm setting myself to play that C on the third string with my index finger, which will make that string crossing feel very comfortable. But if you do that, you're going to have to deal with one a little bit further down the measure right here. You could do ring into middle, A, M, I. Now you have that awkward string crossing early, but then the awkward string crossing that you came across earlier at the end of the measure, on the first example that I showed, is gone. So that's entirely up to you. I'll let you decide how you want to do that. You might even consider throwing in the ring finger if you want, but yeah, right hand's very personalized stuff. So I like using AM just because we have A, M, and the rest I'm just going to deal with. That's what I'm going to do. Unless I change my mind later. Yeah, that's all I am, with the exception of the ring finger on the E, the first string. Pretty straightforward. And then we have back to measure 9. Yeah. So in measure 10, I would start with I'm going to write this one down. Middle finger on measure 10, first note. Middle finger. Alternating from there. And then the F sharp on measure 11, I'm going to play that with my thumb. Oops. Initially. Am I going to change things? There's a chance, obviously. There's always a chance. Watch those pull-offs. That's what I'm going to do. P, this is measure 11, first 4 notes. P, I, M, A. That's what I'm going to do. P, I, M, A. And then we have G. That's just a triad, E minor triad. Then we got this dominant chord, I think. I'm not going to get too involved into the theory. Best at it. But this looks like a D7, but it's probably a diminished, could be, depending on how you spell it, right? So I'm going to go back to measure 11. So measure 11 we have B7, E minor, D7, or some sort of diminished. Let me double check. I always double check by reading it in first position. Okay. All right. So let's see if I'm doing it right. Okay. So now I know it's right. I like to do that. Then we have I'm sorry. C, E. Okay. I That's why I check. C, E. I'm so confused. Oh, I don't have to shift. I'm sorry, okay. So measure 12. And then I have C, E, F sharp, A. I can see that potentially being an issue. Both right hand and left hand, and legato wise. Do I go P-I or P-M? For me, it depends on what I'm playing on measure 13. So on measure 13, I'm playing a C. So either I play that C on measure 13 with my middle, which means the previous note has to be index, or I play that C on measure 13 with my ring, and the previous note will have to be middle. So let's see. So I guess it doesn't matter. Let's see. P, M, I, M. So if I go P, M, I, M, then measure 13 starts ring. If instead I go P, I, M, P, I, M, I, then I can start measure 13 with my middle finger. Oops. I'm going to choose my ring finger for 13, which means I'm going to go P, M. So I'm going to write that down. I don't think I'll remember that. M, P. But the previous three groups of 16th notes are just P, I, M, A. So measure 11, P, I, M, A, P, I, M, A, P, I, M, A, P, M, I, M. Maybe I should go P, I, M to keep it more consistent. Because that's what I was doing in the previous 3 runs, right? So this is the stuff I think about. Let me try it. You know what? I think the best thing I can do is sit on it, play it, and then I think the more comfortable fingering will eventually win out. So I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to bother making that decision right now. So let me just continue. C, E, this is 13 now. So having learned the notes in measure 13, it actually might make sense to start 13 with them in my middle finger to avoid an awkward string crossing that I've discovered within that measure. M, hammer on. So that's going to be M-A. So measure 14 is going to be M. Hammer on, the E, open E is going to be ring finger initially. So let me go from measure 10, measure 11. Yeah, P, I, M, A. Sorry, P, I, M, I. So I'm going to start, let's see, measure 14. Okay, so ideally, those last 4 notes in measure 14 would be A, M, I, but I don't think that's possible based on where I'm coming from. So measure 14, we have M, no, M, A, M. I could play that F sharp. I could do an awkward string crossing there. So F sharp with my middle finger. And then that last run, A, M, I, and then it looks like it starts over. Oh. That's the hard one. That's cool. I kind of want to do a slur there. I'm looking at measure 18. From the A to the G. I think that would sound nice, but it says not to, so I'm going to go ahead and honor that first. Actually doesn't sound too bad. Oops. How am I playing that? You know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to start on measure 10, measure 11. Measure 11. Sorry. I'm going to change that now. I'm not going to remember. And the next time I do this, next Thursday, all of this will be written in, and I'll take a new photo so you'll see it. Sorry, I'm pointing at my monitor, but you'll see it right here with all of the added fingerings and stuff. I. Okay. One more time from measure 11. C. Oh, watch those squeaks. For example. Hear that? Try to avoid that. That's more just me talking to myself. Oops. Yeah. That'll do for now. Oops. No. Do that again. Measure 15. For some reason, I wanted to play the 6th string again. I'm using ring finger to start off measure 16, so if you want to try that, you can. And then from there, it's alternating. A, N, I, M, I, M, I, M. Yeah, makes sense. Everything's laid out perfectly if you do that. So back to 15. Watch that 1. And the last note of 16, that E is played with the first finger. I almost missed that. Because then, I think I talked about it earlier, then you can play the F sharp with your second finger. Oops. Measure 19, G sharp, D, B, F natural, yeah. Bit of a stretch there. F natural, G sharp, Chimney, hopefully I said that right, Chinmay. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're learning alongside me. If you have any questions, obviously let me know. I can help you out. Okay, so here we go, measure 19. Oh. Wait. There we go. Notice my ring finger staying on measure 19, on that G sharp. Everything else is changing. You can lift it off when you go to the next measure. How am I going to play that? How am I going to play that for my right hand? Let's see. Into measure 20. I. So measure 20, I'm going to do my index finger to start. If that doesn't work for you, then figure out what does. Measure 20. Let me start by just going I am. That actually makes sense. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just leave it there. Okay, so measure 20 is just I am. So what I like to do is, instead of writing I am over every single note, I'll just write I am, leave the rest blank. Okay, so that just means the rest is going to be continuing that pattern. Or if it's MI, then MI, leave it blank, and then it just continues, MI. And then anytime I come across a point where I have to use my ring finger, then I'll write down that ring finger, A, and then, yeah. That's what I do. Okay, measure 19. My ring finger likes to just kind of get in on it. Get in on the action. It's just like, no. Don't do that. That's just an A minor. It's an interesting chord. Okay, that's kind of weird. I'm looking at measure 23 into 24. At the end of 23, we have a C with our first finger. The beginning of 24, we have a B with our first finger. So something's not right there. But I kind of plowed through that note, so I'm going to go ahead and start over from 19 again. Seems to be a good place to go back to. Let's see if I missed anything. Let's see if I missed anything. Yes. Yeah, that might be an issue. For those of you that are lazy, you don't want to read, what I used to do, probably shouldn't be telling you this, is anytime I found a chord shape, because I started obviously on electric. A lot of us did electric, acoustic. So I knew all my shapes, all my triad shapes. Bar chords, half bar chords, triads like this. So anytime I came across those in classical, I would just write that out. So in measure 21, I can see myself as a 19-year-old. That's just A minor. I just write A minor right there. And it helps. I learn the piece a lot faster, but at the expense of not improving my reading. So keep that in mind. Okay, so what I would probably do here is play A minor as a block chord, and whatever this chord is as a block chord as well. And I would put my ring finger down on E and my fourth finger down on F together, because that's more or less what you're doing. That's what I would do. So A minor, 1, 3, 4. So let me clarify. I'll measure 21, A minor, and add my fourth finger on that F. Something I didn't realize. The fourth finger stays on F for 21 and 22. So you could just kind of keep that in mind. That could be like a guide finger. It's not, because usually a guide finger would mean that you're using this finger to guide your shift, but we're not shifting. But it's like an anchor. We could say that, it's an anchor. So we have 21. Yeah, that's right. 22. 21. 22. All right. That's hard. maybe I should just lift it up momentarily. Just keep in mind that it's not really going anywhere. A for measure 23. Should I do A? Yeah. Yeah, something's amiss there. Let's do it again. So what I'm looking for on measure 23 is E and D on the second group of 16th notes. So I'm going from first to second. So that makes sense. So it makes sense for those two particular notes on just first look, first viewing, however you want to say it. It makes sense to play that M, I, because you're switching from the from the first string to the second string. So that makes sense. You don't want to do it this. You don't want to go this way. You want to go this way. So having done that, you can go ahead and work your way backwards. So that means that G on measure 23, the second G, because we're working backwards, will be I, and then M, and then I. Okay, so that means in 23 we have A, I, M, I, M, I, M, I. I might change the fingering here for this measure. What measures this? 24. Let's see. A bit of a puzzle, isn't it? Wait. Let's try this. The last measure of this page I'm going to play B with my second finger, the bass. And then the E on the 4th string, I'm going to play that with my first finger. Write that down. So let's see what that does. So back to 22. Second finger. First finger for the E. That makes sense to me. Now I'm on to the second page. Okay, so let's run through the first page. See what we can do with this so far. Okay. Measure 6. How did I play that last time? Oh, let's play differently. Oh, so measure 18. Look at measure 18. F sharp, pull off to E. Now look at measure 8. F sharp, E on the 2nd string. Interesting. We're playing the same notes, but in measure 18, we have open strings, and in measure 8, nothing is open. I'm wondering why that is. I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point. So I'm going to start on measure 17. Oops. Oh, okay. Watch the open B on measure 17. You want to stop it. You don't want it to ring over the F sharp that you play in the next measure, in measure 18. So measure 17. You got to stop it. I just stopped it right there with my thumb. Oh, wrong fingers. Wrong finger again. I think I did something wrong there. Yeah. My ring finger, again, it wanted to get in on the action, but that measure 20, I am. Let's go back to measure 19. So yeah, so I can tell right away on this page, the bottom 2 staff lines are the ones that I'm going to spend more time with than just about the rest of the page. So measure 19. Oops. Did I do that right? Yes. Here we go. Into the second page. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the second page now. So if you're following along, just letting you know. And there we go. There's the second page. Okay. Yep. All right, here we go, second page. F sharp on the 5th string. There we go. A, D sharp. Is that right? Yes, it is. That's just a straight shot through. P, I, M, A, measure 25. That might be an issue. That shift. Something to practice for sure. Sorry about my tone. It doesn't sound that good. It's kind of bright. All right, where were we? Sorry. Measure 20. Let's go back to measure 25. It's kind of cool. I would buy that. Measure 27, the last 4 notes. 3, first finger on A and E, first and second string. No hammer on there. And then we have B and G. That's a cool turnaround. And then starts over. Okay, back to 25. Let's see. That feels most comfortable. P-I-M-A, M-I-M-I. Same thing here. I-M-I, sorry. M-I-M-I. And then A makes sense to me. So 29 starts with A. That might not feel comfortable for some of you. Oops. I might actually apply that bar on this A. I'm barring now the first and the second string at this point. Oops. Shift up. Okay. I'm going to start on measure 27. Oops. Oh, that's kind of weird. This one's going to be kind of strange. People will definitely play this in their own way. Right hand. I mean by that, what I mean by that is the right hand. I'll try that first. If I don't like it, I'll change it. But those two open strings, second B and E, on measure 28, I'm going to play I am. And the other, well, for 28, I'm going to go M A I M. Is that right? Yeah. A M A I M I M. Oh. I keep sliding when I say hammer on. Why would you? I'm gonna, well, yeah. So the last measure before the repeat, measure 29, I'm gonna change that last two. So the second finger that's above that A, I'm gonna change that to 1. That feels more comfortable for me. Okay, let's see. And I'm using thumb. Should I? I don't know. I wonder if I can. I feel more. Okay, so let me explain to you what's going on. The last two notes, F sharp to G. If it feels best to play those two notes, or the F sharp with the hammer on to the G, with the middle finger, because the space is perfect when you start over, because your thumb's on the 6th string to start over. So middle finger on the 4th string, thumb. That feels natural. That feels like, you know, the way it should be for my hand, right? So having said that, the previous two notes, which are slurred, I might want to try playing that one with my ring finger to avoid the string crossing. So what I'm doing, so I'm setting myself up to figure out what I'm playing. So I'm working my way backwards. Okay. No, that won't work. That won't work at all. Okay. Scratch that idea. Okay, then I'll do M-I. So let's try that. So I'm going to change this to M. Change this to I. And then the second string open will be ring finger. Let's try that. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so starting on the last two bass notes of measure 28, that's going to be P, and that's going to cover the A and the B. So going into measure 29, that's going to be I for the D sharp, and that's going to cover the F sharp as well. M for A, ring finger for B, middle finger for G, which covers the A because of the hammer on, index finger for F sharp, which covers the G. Boom, and then we start over. All right, so let's see. Play slow. I'm just playing that run. 3, 1, 1. Oh yeah, I changed this to first finger. Yeah. That's fun. require some practice. Okay, so let's play from I'm gonna go from 19. Let me go back to the first page so you can all see it. So there's 19. Okay. I don't remember what I decided here in terms of right hand. M-I. I'll do that. M-I. I'll do the same thing. M-I. Oh, that's not gonna work. All right, I'm on measure 26. Oops. So the last note of 27 needs to be with the ring finger. That way I can start 28 with my middle finger. Because otherwise, I'm going to be playing my middle finger twice. You obviously don't want to do that. So let me just play measure 27. Okay, 25. Yeah, 25. Is pretty much lined up. All right, so let me run through the whole thing. Back to the first page. Notice I'm crescendoing on those. If not crescendoing, at least bringing them out. Definitely. That's because otherwise you just have a pedal point. That's not very interesting, right? Let me slow down. going to take some practice, definitely. Because you're breaking the sort of arpeggio-like feel, and all of a sudden you got this run. I am. I mean, it's all got to feel seamless. It's all got to sound. It's all got to sound seamless. So, anyways. I'm going to try using a ring finger on D sharp in measure 14. That's what I just did. Circle that 4. I keep wanting to use my third finger, so this is measured 18. I'm just gonna, point it out. Hey, there's a 4 here. Use your fourth finger. That way you can use your third finger for the G sharp. Yeah, look at 22, measure 22. B flat, okay, first finger. Look at 21, the last note. C, first finger. So you're going from here to here. It's tough to deal with. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else you can do. Got to be quick. Oops. I forgot to change to the second page. I'll play the second page again. Second page. Here we go. Like I said, I would bar once I get that first finger down on measure 27. I'm barring the first and second string. Bar. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Leave it at that. That's the hour. So I'll practice this portion over the week, and then on Thursday I'll play what I've worked on. I'll play it so you can hear what 1 week of practice what you can get out of 1 week's of practice. And then the next hour I spend on this will be learning the next part. And you can again see the process. And then the next week after that, I'll play what I've known from there and go just like that. And the same format will be applied to the Bach stream that I did on Monday. So on Monday, when I play the Bach stream, when I am live streaming, I will perform, I guess you could say, that first page of Bach, I think, just about, and then start learning the rest of it and go from there. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help out. And of course, don't forget to check out those links in the description. You can make a donation through PayPal, or you can subscribe to my Patreon, become a member. All right, you guys take care. Have a good night, and I will see you all on Monday next week.